I want to start this video a bit differently. We can see the magic of cinema waning across the modern world, and I think that in order to move forward with true creative prowess, all we can do is look back. And what's a better place to start than Goodfellas? A movie based on a book called Wise Guys, written by a man in the witness protection program. The film follows the life of Henry Hill as he falls in love with the idea of being a gangster as a young boy. And slowly the story leads us to his adult days, working for the mob, alongside the twists and turns that brings. The film was directed by Martin Scorsese, released in 1990, and was met with universal acclaim. Goodfellas has since become a cultural phenomenon, inspiring many like me to want to create films themselves. There's so many things I could talk about that this film does well, but today I want to focus on specific technical elements, the use of color, and also the A-grade acting performances we see from the likes of Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro, and many more. Firstly, the technical mastery on show here is clear to see. Long flowing shots, uses of so many stylistic camera techniques to bring us ever closer to the wonder of the story. The use of close-ups to emphasize the danger and stakes also adds to the overall immersion. Being shot on film back in the day, this film sure looks awesome. The use of color to emphasize tone, bringing atmosphere through every possible way. The best chunk of the story takes part in the 70s and is swamped with neon and fluorescent lighting, making the interior and exterior shots look beautiful. Perfect framing. No matter where we are or who is in shot, presence is well established at all times. Everything about this film is cinematic mastery, and it's structurally flawless from a technical standpoint. I also want to talk about Henry Hill, our main character, as well as Jimmy Conway and Tommy Devito. Henry Hill is played by Ray Liotta, someone who hasn't done many big roles. He was in the B-movie for some weird reason though. But getting back on track, his acting in Goodfellas is probably the best performance we will ever see of the guy, and he is convincing through and through. Henry slowly loses his grip on his own life and becomes more and more reckless, driven by the idea that he is untouchable, until the reality hits him and he turns to substances, driving him into a deep psychotic episode and slowly losing the trust of the mob. From decade to decade, Henry's character, as well as all of the characters, slowly become hardened by the lives they lead. Jimmy Conway is played by the one and only Robert De Niro, a character that fronts as a cool-headed cat with everything planned out, but we slowly learn that he is deeply paranoid, getting people killed just as precautions, doing everything he can to keep the grip on the perfectly fucked up world he is attempting to construct for himself. Tommy Devito, played by Joe Pesci, is an unhinged sociopath, killing people for simply challenging his place in the social structure, always looking for ways to prove himself to the mob. His desperation for respect leads him to his demise. Joe Pesci won an Oscar for this role, and for good reason. I'd say most of the story surrounds these three characters, and their on-screen chemistry is off the charts. Every scene with them together emphasizes this cosmic certainty that they'd always play these roles. The slow demise and deterioration of the mob and everything they'd planned and built out is so perfectly represented, and the story constantly unravels, gripping the audience with every story beat. Scorsese's determination to deliver a timeless masterpiece manifests itself as one of the most meticulously crafted and well-acted movies of all time. All of the acting roles are masterfully performed, and I don't think the excellence executed could ever be replicated. Being based on a true story, you're always brought back to the chilling reality that the people we're watching are inspired by real people that once lived a life of gang-fueled chaos, glitz, glamour, and gore. There's so much to learn from films like this one and others that I'm yet to cover, and I think that in order to bring about the next renaissance of film, we truly need to deeply understand the art that inspired the millions. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and I'll keep them coming. Also, subscribe to the channel if you want to show your support. But for now, see y'all next time.